I know they probably asking what happened to the first version of health benefits of the gods. Well, I said this today. I was gonna record early, so I went to actually make another video at 12 o'clock today, and I was gonna do part two to this. Next thing you know, my refreshings kept going on my Wi-Fi, and so I said, let me stop then, and I'll do this another time when the wind is not up so much, because it was kind of windy today, and I tried to do it at 12 o'clock. So when I stopped it now to stop the stream, I went to delete the one I just did and actually deleted the health benefits of the gods, the one I did yesterday. What up, LK? Peace and blessings. So, I'm just have to do that one again. That's all. It just had, I deleted it. I didn't delete by no or YouTube or anything. It's no conspiracy. I accidentally pressed it. So I'm gonna make it again. So this is what we're gonna do here. Peace and blessing. Kaza Ugunu. I like that. Peace, family. I hope I said it right. Bear with me. My cognition is kind of like iffy right now. It's kind of like when you go in the spiritual world a lot, you're going to get a cognition that's like a off. It has to be. Let me break it down. When you travel between worlds, like as long as I've been doing it now, at first it was cognitive dissonance. It was an attack. I felt, you good, brother? Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you. That's what's up. And so with cognitive dissonance now, it's like you in between two worlds and you want to see it one day. Blissful love, me family love all around, fancy fruits. Irie, brother, Irie, thank you for checking me out. Yes, I got the extracts brewing, brother. Couple more weeks, about a week or so more, we gonna be up and testing out the new flavors and the new balms, the new oils. Yeah, I've been running around actually healing people. It has kept me away from posting and even talking to you, family. And so doing it, I get to test out some of the stuff that I'm making. With the theme of this week that just passed was pain. Everybody was in pain. So they wanted instant relief. So I have made this oil, and it's a beautiful oil, man. Let me tell you, instant relief. It took me a few weeks to get it down pat. Me and family, uncle worked on it. He got the back problem, so I get to always test my stuff. So, anyway, I got it down to just probably immediate relief right away now, and it's running around different places being tested to make sure the formula is perfect. I always test it out first. So yes, now back to what I was saying. When you're traveling between two worlds, you're gonna get this cognitive dissonance. It's important for us to understand how healing works, how everything works. It's like for us to understand healing, we have to understand how the body works, what's inside the body, and what does it take to make it work. And most of us, we found out two things that make the body work, which is vitamins and minerals. And these is two different spirits. You see, when we talk in healing benefits of the gods, you got to understand how the body work, because you got another force out here that's giving you things for the body that look good, but it's really nothing in it. It's actually bad for you. So we go to the hospital, we sick, we have inflammation, anxiety, autoimmune disease attack, and we don't understand why we get these things because we think we're eating healthy. Sometimes we even go around everything and say, no, I'm just going vegan and eating organic food, and it still causes not the position we're looking for. Well, for me, my criteria is set to leave your body, to fly around, do the astral, to be one with the gods, to know yourself. That's the first thing. But to get to that, you have to be set at a certain BMI. Your mentality has to be together. So it requires the food and everything you eat, because it controls the way you think, the way your body works, to be evaluated in the sense of what am I putting in myself? Am I hurting myself or am I helping myself? So on that note, then you understand when you're talking now minerals and vitamins, you're talking about the gods. How is that possible? We have a mineral body we share with the mineral kingdom, and minerals build the body. And then you have the vitamin kingdom, which is plants, which the ethereal part of you, and it builds the body too. So you have the mineral kingdom and the plant kingdom actually is the source of what the fuel that your body run off of is. How you get it now is in little micro doses of foods we eat, such as a steak, or if you burdock in it, or maybe many more Zen of sea moss, if you sea moss in it. These things now, you're pulling out what the body used to fuel it, to make it run, to keep it generating right. Yeah, that's right. Everything is beautiful on that level now. But then how you extracting it is the different type of material substance it's in, such as corn, flour, rice. These is now the problem because the object you're contracting it from, it could be toxic to your body. It could have a biochemistry that don't agree with your body. It's all spiritual in a way, but we're gonna do it just as basic so you understand it from a biochemistry point of view. When you mix certain chemicals together, or keep mixing food, you just made up a one cocktail in your body, and that cocktail is it complementary to your body or is it toxic to your body? You consider foods that's like say organic. Let's use those two for instance. You got two levels in there. You got your herbs that's regular herbs that complement each other, and then you got toxic herbs. Toxic herbs actually is something that has a side effect. Toxicity in your body is the same thing. You have a side effect in your body from toxic things going on inside of there. Inflammation is one of the main things, and white blood cells overproduction is another. So you want to understand that toxicity has a very important role now inside what's going to happen with the foods we eat and the foods we don't eat. So toxicity is actually now herbs that you take for a short term. Say you was in a very dire situation, such as hospital medication, everything is toxic. That herb, if you continue to use it long term, it will hurt you. It will do something to you. But for immediate relief, it'll work. So you have to realize there's non-toxic herb, non-toxic plant, non-toxic food, and then there's toxic food, food that is going to have a side effects to you. It's food that if you continue to eat, is going to do something terrible to you. Same thing with herbs. So, you have to know that as a herbologist, the toxicity level in something, or do it even have a toxicity? So let's say now you eat something and you add it on, you add it on, you add it on. You're not checking the toxicity level of all of this. You wind up building something super toxic inside your body. You can't say what you ate wasn't toxic or what is toxic, so you just know you have something super toxic. Now, I know this because the plants I deal with in the medicine I do non-toxic medicine, meaning you see the shelf back there with all those different types of plants. Those is all different type of extract. I could take all of them and put them all together to get a super extract, and it's not toxic. It won't work against your medication. You have food like that too. You can eat food and it has no inflammation or toxicity level on your body compared to, like, say you eat rice. Rice now, which is bleached and it's been refined, it's also going to take away substances from your body to break it down, such as niacin, riboflavin, or your B vitamins, really. So when you actually do this to yourself, you strip yourself of something that make your body toxic now. This is what I'm saying, toxic. It has to use that to break it down. So certain things could, you think you eat in non-toxic rice, but when you put it in your body, it becomes toxic. So this is where you're at now, where toxicity has to be in the equation of life, period. Your moves, your decisions, what you eat. You have to realize, man, if I eat this, my insides when I fart is gonna smell up the place. My breath is gonna be, You're gonna get acid indigestion, stomach bloating. So many signs the body's showing you that something is not what I like or something don't agree here. One thing you got to realize with the body, it likes a set thing. It does the same thing over and over again, not because it's habitual, because it works. So what works is what you stick to. You don't have to keep eating different things. Remember, you're making a toxic bomb in your stomach if you didn't give yourself 24 hours to digest or break food down before you add another food on it. So with you now making all these different choices, you're making your biochemistry harder to break down something. You better off eating a two-course meal, such as your vegetable and your meat or whatever, or grain. Just those two. Your body enzymes now is used to breaking it down, which doesn't put so much work on your body. This is the key thing, the work you're putting out eating, breaking down food. You understand? And the toxicity level that builds up in the process of it. So once you understand that, you understand how herbs work. So you got to check your herbs to make sure you're not putting something long-range toxic in your body or whatever organic long-range toxic in your body. You got to cut it off. You know, I remember there was this sugar, I think it was agave or something, which is fructose, and a lot of people is using it as like, oh, it's agave, it's not sugar, it's agave, but it's not sucrose. Sugar is sucrose. What you're taking is fructose. It's like high fructose corn syrup. It's the same thing, fructose. So it's a balance between fructose and sucrose that we need inside of our body. You can't just have one. You can't just have fructose, and you just can't have sucrose. That's why people use honey. Honey balances between sucrose and fructose to give you a balance in nature. So, you know, keep that in mind too when y'all mess with certain things. Look for the toxicity level. All right, so let's get into this now about the gods. You know, the health benefits of the gods. I just took this before I started. I wanted to show you this. This is very important. Which way is it? This way, right here. You see this? This is cod liver oil. This is the oil that the body run off of. This is the motor oil for the body. Without this, you're sure gonna die one day sooner than you're supposed to. So make sure you put in omega-3 oil in your body. This one is enhanced with vitamin D. The thing what is most important is for y'all young motherfuckers to get this. Why? Because it took a long time for older people. Older people wait till they get old before they help themselves. You want to stay young. You want to be like if you on steroids and doing extra things, start now. Keep it in you. That's what these things is what these super athletes call steroids. When you already have it in your body and you put in enough of it in your body, you don't wear and tear on the body. You don't break down in energy. You understand what I'm saying? It's like this is the facts. This, you know, when you say older people have less energy like an old man or something than a little child, it's not all the way true. You see, the difference is a child only uses his energy for what one thing at a time he's gonna do, while an older person is multitasking, doing everything so their energy is spread out. Now, and be honest, the older person has the most energy, but it's just that he got so many from his bills, his kids, his house, his this. It's just that the child don't have nothing more than play on his mind, so his energy is focused. So once you realize that, you take a lot of stuff out yourself that make your body run extra energy that you don't need to extubate. Because once you do that, you age in yourself. You're making your vitamins and minerals work more. And that's when you have to replenish it and you get deficiencies. Stress is a number one thing. It oxidizes the body. That's why it's called oxidative stress. So you got to understand this. So now let's get back to the health benefits of the guys. With the omega-3, the omega-3 fish oil right there, you know, it's a long story about it from the Mediterranean diet form, where they're saying that they took some group of people and they put them on this diet, get fed them all omega-3, and they realized it lowered their heart rate, their cholesterol rate, and made them actually live longer and built up their body more better. So for me, I'm telling you, this is what is needed. In plants, they have it in extracts and drinks too. It don't have to be in the oil. It's called alpha linolenic. If you see something with alpha linolenic acid in it, that's omega-3 too. So it's in plants in that form, so how you could get it. You could take it in the extract or drink. I sell it. I make it all day because it's the number one healer of what we call atherosclerosis, which is just plaque in your arteries, or what we call free radical breaking up inside your body. Free radical breakup inside your body because of oxygen. You understand? Oxygen is like a laser that splits off protons inside your body. It's a very complicated situation when we're talking about this free radical and the splitting of the atom by oxygen, because we take in water through oxygen, CO2 through oxygen. It got oxygen in it too. And when you look at these two compounds, it's not the main contributor to what we call free radicals. What's going on, Freddie? The main contributor to free radicals is really heavy metal. Heavy metal poisoning is the real cause, like cadmium, mercury, um, all the heavy metals that you see like in pesticides and inside of the drinking water. To actually, that's what they spray in chemtrail. It's in the air now purposely to make the body work more. You see, this is the trick. This is the ultimate trick. You remember there was chemtrailing us to death? Well, that was the heavy metals and cadmium and all that stuff that is in the atmosphere now, which comes into your body, which make your body immune system start working more. So if we never noticed, when chemtrail came into being, internally we was having an internal war that we didn't know. We never went and got a heavy metal load test to see what was our heavy metal level. But if you did, you would have noticed everybody's heavy metal load went up. And with it going up now, everybody became sensitive. You see, when you over toxify, your body becomes sensitive. Anybody could smell anything from anywhere because your body has a certain resistance to toxicity. But when it gets to the full level of it, every little thing you're sensitive to. You smell things far away. It makes you nervous. It triggers off autoimmune disease. So now, once everybody became super sensitive, this is the sign that's telling you that you is some type of heavy metal poisoning. Another sign is autism. Another sign you see is kids that can't. Can you explain the astral body and its anatomy? Sure, I'll do that for you. Truly awaken right in the middle of this. So now, when you see that the kids who is in like the urban areas and their IQ is low, their IQ is low due to heavy metal poisoning. Mercury is just being sprayed, especially in urban areas, mostly because they populate it with not just heavy metals. You got toys and fake clothes, fake shoes, fake plates, fake forks, fakes. It's not stainless steel. It's not silver. Then it's heavy metal. It's cadmium, mercury. These things is what's made lead is made of. So once we get a lot of heavy metal inside of our body, you get white blood cells. Your cells start fighting, started pushing out suppressor cells and natural killer cells to defend itself. And boom, once you do that, you made a perfect condition for a third attack. This third attack is being called COVID. You understand? It could be any type of flu or sneeze. Once you set the condition in the body, that's a predisposition. The body is set now for anything to infect it. If you're not in the age group of between 12 to 40, it's going to hit you, because that's when we forgot to replenish our body with minerals and vitamins, and that wind up now being the people that's subject to COVID, the older people, because they're deficient. You see how it works? Simple. Cool. So now let's get into this about the astral body and how it comes into being and work. That was a very good question. Let me see. That's Truly Awake at 999. Can you explain the astral body and its anatomy? So let's do that real quick. You see, all right, the body itself is composed of it's sub bodies. I'm not gonna say you have at least 16 different bodies, but we're not going to count them in the in between in the color of a body, like how you got the color of all the little detail parts. All right, but you have main sub bodies, which is your intellectual body. You have your mental body. You have your emotional body. You also have an astral body, which is entwined with the ego and shadow. And then you have your soul, you have your spirit, and then you have you, the physical body. So I bring it into one circumference because this is your mandala. It's one thing that we call the logo or image, that one you can see only where your consciousness is at. It's not something that is fixed, that it's a theory, a philosophy. And we're going to do this in two parts because I'm going to put this video in theory here. And right after, I'm going to jump on the OBS studio and I'll put the books up and read to y'all and show y'all that, so y'all know these is facts. It's not just me saying. Nothing I ever say, I say. Everything I say, I checked. I triple check. I quadruple check. And then I say it. So anything you come out my mouth, trust me, I got the weapons to back it up. I'm not saying nothing I can't back up. But now what I'm trying to say now, with this, we have in these body, our consciousness reside in the physical body. But the physical body is not like a vessel, like how you see it here, and there's just you, a light inside of it. It's more of now a web, a network, a very spread out network of fiber optics and visible cable that everything is connected to, with mainly these things called chakras that go from through your head. It gets connected to higher forces, but it comes through you, through the crown, and it goes down to the through your feet, and it's grounded in the core of the earth. It's you're grounded to the earth if you seeing it. So now let's talk about real quick a baby. When the baby is born, their chakras isn't opened yet. They don't have a concept of who they are, what they are. Their first concept is smelling. To smell their parents, they'll know their parents. And so that's when the first chakra open. Once they could identify certain things, different chakras start opening at certain ages. Open. It don't open like how a chakra open. You got flowers in it. These flowers was opened already from there was another life. You don't start them in this life. You continue your lily pads or the flowers to unfold the whole chakra itself. But it's different little what is it called, petals inside of it that you would unlock from different lifetime, over many lifetime, till you just come to the stage in your life where you make the whole petal fall out. That's the flower of life. And usually after you get past you could say the third chakra, one could finish the rest in one lifetime. It becomes like a second instinct once you do you remember it, once you start meditating and get into it. So now with this now, Hiblios, Biblios, peace and love. And now with this now that the child is starting to awaken, because each time he does a instinctual move, such as scent, to predict who his parent is, or that's how they know. You could give a baby to a stranger whose eyes are still closed, and they could cry and push them away. They know their mother, and then they'll be quiet when they're with their mother. So they have that sense that their petals is opening, not they're activating it themselves. They're remembering certain triggers is going to come in now and make them trigger. You'll see like a child like at 2, 3 years old, you go by your friend's house to visit, the child go behind the mother leg and hold it and is watching you. It's now conscious of enemy, friend, or stranger. It's chakra petals start opening. But now when it hits like around 7, 8 years old, it drops, it dies, and then they have to create now onto the chakras. This is when they go through puberty. This is the beginning of their creativeness. They're going to start creating their own with this new set of chakras now adding on to it. And most people in this 2020 is coming, 2021 or whatever, is actually coming to the end of doing their chakras, is finishing it up. So they're ascending to higher realms. So now, inside the body, you have those what we call vortexes. They're connected to a spine. When we say that the serpent, the snake, or whatever it is that comes into being, it actually is like the amoeba, your microbe, prokaryotic, eukaryotic, comes out like a little serpent. You see it like a semen when it comes. It eventually become your spine, with the last vertebrae becoming a skull. It's like it mutates into a skull. And so that's why you see this, they represent the snake or the serpent around the egg as the, the sperm, and the egg being the woman's fallopian tube, or just birth, rebirth, and generation. That's what it stands for. So inside of you is that snake that they eventually is going to be called Kundalini, but it's not a physical snake that look like a snake. It's actually a force that it is. You understand? So this force is what's now you, your consciousness. Now inside of you, you have a conscious mind and you have a subconscious mind inside your physical body. It's like a computer. You have reptilian brain, prima facie brain, and your higher self brain. I give you the name of that in a second. Now, in our evolution, in our beginning stages of our life, we only used our reptilian part of our brain. It was just about survival instincts, eating and taking people's stuff, fighting, and really just it was survival of the fittest, that old Darwin theory thing. As we grew into that, it made us have an emotion. So over experience, our reptilian brain became the emotional brain, which brought about the shadow body, the emotional body, the ego, because it was set here to protect you. If you're here today, you're like the toughest of the toughest of the toughest from the beginning of survival till now. That's why you're here. So with that, now you have your reptilian brain, which is caught to your shadow astral body. Then you have your prima facie brain that is connected to your mineral kingdom and your emotional side. And then you have your higher self, your damn, I can't remember the name still, but it'll come to me, your higher brain. Once you get up in there, that's when you're in your ethereal mind. This works in the sense of when you go to sleep, your conscious mind, it actually dictates this image that you're seeing. This world is not a real world. It was taught to you. We as energy, we only saw energy. You understand? Soul and spirit and ego only sees shadows, energy. But what happened is after being here so long and ingesting air, our breathing, they say we breathe in prana and we live off of prana, not oxygen. And you remember I tell you oxygen causes free radical split. It also causes other thing too. Oxygen was also called APEP. That was called the fall of man when we started breathing. We have two breath, like two brains, in our upper chest or upper diaphragm. We breathe up there. It's a different thing. We take in air, but when we breathe in our lower diaphragm, we take in prana. It's a different way. So when we is in our conscious self, the awakened self, what we're taught through neuroplasticity, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is a tree, this is a cat, we make it a vivid picture. We took the energy, and the energy of matter became solid, and we calcified ourselves in it. Feel like I'm always breathing air, not prana, LOL. That's true, you are, Freddie. That's why you have the thoughts come into your head. I'm gonna go back into that because that's the fall. That's why it's called the fall. We don't understand what air is. You gotta understand what air is. It's very important. Once you get the idea of what's in air, you see why it causes rust, it causes free radical. It's the element of destruction. It's the destroyer. It's part of the mineral kingdom. So now that you know that you have a conscious mind that was taught, and what it was taught it creates, you now have another mind, which is your subconscious. Only time your subconscious come in is when you go to sleep. This now disappears, and what looked like a wall or a square or a circle become kind of like a vivid obtuse image that don't have a defined form, because it's this conscious mind that will say, oh, that's a circle, and it start being a circle, or that's a square, and it'll square out. So once you don't have the conscious mind doing it, the subconscious mind, it only could see symbols. Everything is symbol images. If it wants to talk to the conscious mind, it show it an image, and the conscious mind will do philosophy or whatever and do it. That's how it works. So when you go to sleep now, this subconscious mind has a body that's called an astral body. The astral body now is the second body. See, when you die, you can't die. You know, you just not gonna remember biology. You're not subject to biology. With it, you're gonna continue with your astral body. This astral body, though, when you're alive, what it does is called the forget-me-not body. It's a free body that is different from the other bodies because they're all connected except for the astral body, because it works with your desires, it works with your pleasure. It's also in the house of the soul, the sphere of the soul. So the soul is free. It's not trapped, meaning your astral body only comes to you when you go to sleep. It's not in you or with you all the time. It comes back to you. And when it comes to you, it takes you now and make you have a good time. You forget your bills. You forget who owe you. You forget all your problems. That's why it's called forget me not. In your astral body, when you go into meditation, that's the body you go into. And you will see, you will forget what you saw in your meditations. You'll forget what you saw in your um, lucid dreaming or whatever, because of the simple fact that's how the astral body works. It's designed to take away your problems, you know. So when you come wake up the next day, you're a capacitor. That charge will still hold. You still be more angry the next day. It's gonna keep building up. It's like repression. So God made it, or the forces made it, whatever you want to call it, nature made it, that something comes and discharge you. That's the astral body. So you wake up new and you forget most of the stuff and the contention you had the day before. That's the basic of what the astral body do. But now the astral body has a job aside from that, which is to remind you who you are. The astral body, if it's not tampered with, because like I said, it's a desire body, it works the two also as the magician body, the shadow body, the ego, the emotion body, that it actually has to be set free from all those things for it to be the astral body that's going to guide you to your destiny, remind you who you are. So you got to keep all of those into consideration as you go to sleep and dream, and you dream of your dream house, that new car that's out this year. That's your mental projection on an astral screen, on the astral body. Now, say you didn't have no thoughts, you didn't do nothing. It would just take you to something, maybe a year, another life, maybe even up into the gods, and you would learn God lessons. You will see that. So we was taught to actually get repressed, advertisement, advertisement, advertisement. It's like we're buried underneath so much data that we cannot take the astral body and use it how we would want to use it as we desire to. Because with all these, you got leaves of paper this high up over you. The thing to it is it works off of your desire. So say you got leaves of paper over here, your bills. You're thinking about your bills, your astral body's going to straighten that out. You're thinking about your kids, your astral body's straightening that out. So when you go to sleep at night, it brings you back all the data as a mandala and show you what you was desiring, those things. But if you could take the paperwork and get rid of it all, you will find that you not only could remote view, you have clairvoyance, psychic abilities, but you have the ability to go to many places and actually interact with higher being, the gods. It's not something that is subject to my opinion. It's not something that's subject to what I'm just saying. It's something that's been practiced from ancient time, from the beginning of time, and it still is in human beings and have the ability to do it. And it's kind of hard for us to grasp it because there's so many versions of this story going around, and people got their new different definition of things in their modern times. But if you study history, a human being lowers in consciousness every generation. He doesn't get higher in consciousness. That's why Egypt is still the epitome of consciousness and higher learning and architecture, mathematics, because as time went on, we devolved. We can never evolve. So you cannot say the young could come and finesse it right. They're going to be more confused, especially now with COVID, that they took out all the older people who could have said, no, that's not true. Now anything is true to them. When you add in now culture cancellation, a lot of stuff that is true is now not being true because it don't seem right. And that's how we wind up losing what happened in Africa, what happened to the temples, what happened to the indigenous people. We lost a lot of history due to culture cancellation, and they're doing it right in front of our face now. So we see how history came into being. So on that note now, let's get back to the astral body. So when you meditate now, it's this. Let me finish with the sleep part and dream part. So when you go to sleep, you have now where you assume your astral body, but you could participate in it. So you could be doing it consciously if you know this procedure called lucid dreaming. A lot of people is starting to embark into that now, where they're half asleep, half awake. It's like you're fighting your sleep, and then all of a sudden you're able now to just you don't know that you didn't come back up the last time, but you did. But when you came up, your body, your second body came up. You came up out of it, and this one is still like this, but you're here now, you're moving around. This one is like this. So that's the start of how you get into lucid dreaming. And from there, you're in a mind. Unbelievable, but you can't understand what's going on. Use it and manipulate it if you don't know what it is. You're in a mind. It's what you believe, what you think you're going to see. A mind. That's a fact. That's why you could create with your mind. You create something in your mind, and poof, it comes into your reality by putting instruments and tools to it. So this now, when you come out your body, you're in the mind. Whatever you think is what's gonna happen. It's just what you're gonna see. So they try to control what you think, what you see. So you think what they want you to think, so that you won't be able to think your destiny. Your destiny would probably be here to change oppression, make freedom and justice. That's everybody's angelic right. It's a covenant. But aside from that, you have things such as, new house, new TV, chasing money, all this stuff made people desire other things, which bring in now what is air. Air is the spirit, right? You remember there's the spirit that hovered above the water. These is two people, two spirits. These are the precursor to life, genetics, prokaryotics, microbes. They don't touch each other, but in between they cause what's called humidity, moisture, heat, coldness. These became the demons, the ones who control this world. One time, okay, I'm gonna get to you, Freddie. This force that controls this world is the jet stream. It's the forces of nature that control tidal waves, hurricanes, ice ages, everything. But we ourselves can't perceive what's in it. But inside what we call air is all the gods, all the elements. You could look at it as an etheric force now. This etheric force now is what we have to learn the difference to between breathing correctly and not breathing. When we study yoga and its union with forces, they teach you that your upper breathing of your upper diaphragm, it renders you oxygen to your brain. And this now make you have thoughts down in your stomach. So you always having cardinal thoughts, thoughts about your bills, desire thoughts, only about you, what you want. This is what it is. And it's a worry brain down there. It's only two parts to it. It's got greed and it's a warrior. So you always, what am I going to do? And I think I got to do this. And so with that, you're not in your higher brain, which is the brain on top of your head. You actually is inside your stomach brain. So when this occurs, this is demons that's coming in the air. Not to say it in a superficial way, because we don't know the term what demon mean. Where that's a Christian term just invented from the word demion that the Greek used, or they. These words was actually angelic beings. So Lord Enki, hold on, I'm gonna answer your question too. So these beings, they under different forces. When we say forces that control everything, it's in the air, and you have to realize it. When we do like meditations, you will see like a yogist go into a glass cube box and he don't breathe, he stops his breathing. We didn't breathe, we took prana in and we circulated prana between our crown chakra down to our root chakra when we hold it. You're not going to die if you hold your breath. Even when you pass the point where you think you're going to pass out, when you pass out, you pop out your body. That's all that happened. But there is a technique. You don't breathe, but you will, yes, you breathe through your skin and you bring in a little bit of air at a time when you need it. But it's the calmness that keeps you out of your body, the calmness. So once you understand the calmness is what's going to help you to find you, so you don't be impulsive, you don't react in situation, you're not quick to be judging things in your head. These things talk to you and we react to them. So the calmness is pushing all of this out now, letting just the prana come up to your brain, which will take you up to your higher self, to the neocortex. That's the word I was looking for when I was trying to say the higher brain. Your higher self reside in your neocortex brain. So once now oxygen is able to go there, because it reside mostly in the reptilian. I had to put this into its proper perspective. Due to lack of oxygen, we stay in our reptilian. Due to our breathing, when you breathe, you're supposed to offset your breathing. If you have a rhythmatic breathing going all your life, you're ingesting mostly CO2 and oxygens, which is causing you not to go up to your higher self. If you do a lot of exercising and working out, the oxygen don't go up to your neocortex brain. It only stay in your reptilian brain, have you fight or flight, always aggressive, all those stuff, but you cannot get to your higher demeanor. So anyways, air is a very important thing for you to realize. There's a God of the air, and it goes inside of us and actually controls our thoughts. So when you do a meditation, you slow down your breathing, you literally stop to get that out of you. And then you bring in prana, which is the positive gods, the positive fire, and that brings you into your angelic self. You know, there's a technique people use. I don't know if I ever told you, which is just breathe all the air out your nose, so your lower abdomen's tight, and just breathe it all out. Then count to 10 or 20, and then just breathe into your lower abdomen, have air, and just stay breathing down there. You'll start feeling like you're floating. Once you start feeling that, that's the beginning. Pay attention to your breath. Don't worry about thoughts. Thoughts only come in if you're thinking. If you don't want to think, what you have to do is constrain your breathing. When you constrain your breathing, your body gonna think automatically, going to default something is wrong, and you're gonna jump into your higher self. Your consciousness is gonna jump into your higher self, and that's how you get up in there. By constraining your breath, you actually giving yourself a alert something is wrong, and you get out your stomach and be up in your higher self. Now it might feel like something is floating out, like an elevator going up. You get a funny feeling in your stomach. This is the beginning of you actually opening up what's called your Doth gate, or your third eye. This now is able to connect. Once you're up in there and oxygen is getting up there, you're connecting your pituitary to your pineal gland. So by now, if you get that feeling, the rest is a lot of willing. It's control, concentration. Concentration is not like we think, like we have to concentrate on something. Concentration is forgetting about everything. That's what concentration is. It's not what we think, looking at a thing and just looking at it, staring and forget. No, concentrate. The more you forget about something, the more you break your habit, the more concentrated you be, the stronger your will be. That's the way you go about concentration. So next will be will. will give you the power to push on this magnetic field or mind and will things into existence. But your concentration got to be there. You can't will something and have and desire something else. If you're gonna will something, that's where your desire is, and you can't stop willing it until this is there. You can't will it now and you're gonna will something else. You can't love this and love that and love this. You're not doing nothing. You only can do one thing at a time. That's where your astral body is, your soul is. It's getting these things aligned for you, but it's through your desire. That's why media, everything try to push on you what they think you should desire, what they think you should like. And we usually take to Nicki Minaj and all them with the sexy stuff distracting you. So now you want that and girls like that. So they bring out the lower self side of yourself and make you stay there so you don't see the God. There's a God in you. You know, when we talk God, it's not the biblical God. When I talk Jesus, it's not the biblical Jesus. It's your soul and the forces that control you. They say God is spirit, which is your spirit. That's all you need to know. It's no one form to spirit. It's spirit. And the same thing, soul is soul. So once you realize that these things give you extrasensory perception, clairvoyance, and ability to astral leave your body and then some, perfect your life, grow you, mature you. That's what you need, alchemy. And so you're able now to get into another world, and occult will be open to your perception. You will understand the occult. What does it mean? What are they saying? Because that's occult only mean invisible. That's all they saying. And so once you realize there's invisible forces that control your habits, control what you think, your emotions, you will break these things so you could be in control through concentration. Concentration meaning to lift up everything off of you so that you only see what you're seeing, not seeing this, but you're thinking about this and you're thinking about that and you're thinking about, then you're not yourself. It's not really concentration. The concentration means just take the stuff off of you. That's all it means. I hope that makes sense. So now, when we have this lucid thing and we float out of our body, your body now has another form to it. It actually takes two things to you. You got to remember who you are. It was like the movie back in the days with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where another him come from the future to remind him who he was and gave him the thing and took it out his nose and all that. That's your astral body. So in default, without desires, without, it will take you back to you last life, the next time, the life after that, to the 40s, maybe to the 1600s. You start having these weird experiences. Like, these is actually what's called regression, hypnotic regressions that you have to awaken. Like I said, it's taking things off of you. By you remembering, you forget about these ideas, these beliefs, all these things that we're being pushed on us, and you will know things, that's for sure. So that's the astral body. But now you have an ethereal body. The ethereal body is different from the astral body. What's the difference between the ethereal body and the astral body? One, you share astral body with animals. Your astral body is your first body, so it has all your repressions in it. It's your shadow. It's connected to the moon. You first came here as a soul. You came through the moon. So you first had to assume animal form, or what's called anima. The anima in Sanskrit is the soul. So once you realize it, it's not trained. It likes attachment. It likes to spend time with things. It likes to have fun. It's pleasure, 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 pleasure. So you will have to grab your animal and learn how to train a dragon, how to break off attachments. If you watch from when I was posting videos in the beginning, I first started saying isolate yourself, isolate yourself. Somehow the universe make it that everybody had to go into isolation. I try to tell you, certain things to disconnect from attachments. And now you see we have to disattach ourselves from a lot of things. This is what the universe is calling for. This is not something we get to decide how we want to do. You have to be one with your astral body, one with your soul, because if you're not, this is where diseases and sicknesses come from, because it's harmony. Your body's in harmony with the future. It know what's gonna happen in the future, like how a dog know a tsunami or cat know a tsunami is gonna come and they leave before it come. Well, our body is designed to pre-set itself for what's to come in the future, whether technology wise, anything wise. So what you do today is not for your tomorrow immediately. It's for your future. You're doing what you do today. So it's preparing you for something. And you must allow yourself to do that without you mitigating who you are because of what they told you are or what you choose to seek or go after. These will mitigate your own soul. When you do that, it acts against you. This is now you have a disorder inside your body. You know, they used to say that our not seeing the gods no more made the gods turn on us, and these gods became our diseases, our mental diseases, because we're not seeing it. We're not seeing the cause of it. We don't want to see it. We don't want to acknowledge it. So we call it a disease. We'll call it a sickness. But in reality, if you would have seen these things and know these things and was one with these things, it wouldn't affect you. It's the fact you can't recognize it, you can't see it, you can't feel it. It manifests to you as a disease. It's all you. Sometimes we desire things that is against us, that we don't need, and in doing so, you could say you broke the commandments of your own Merkaba. You broke your own commandments of your own gods that guide you. It's like you have protection and you don't do something to somebody, then it can't be done to you no matter what. Man could come with a gun and he can't shoot it. You ain't violate your macabre. He can't. You can't do it, dude. You be like, you can't do it. You have to feel like he's gonna do it because you see something in yourself you did wrong. You did wrong. So you're gonna get it like a dog. If a dog running at you, oh no, he about to bite you, and he see you ain't fearing, you ain't flinching, you ain't doing, he'll stop. He'll stop. You ain't giving off no pheromones. You're not guilty of nothing. A lot of us violated our macabre, and when things come back around to get us back, because violating your macabre just means that protection is taken off of you for you to get the same violation. And a lot of us don't want that. So now we want to go get an Obia man to take this off. We want to do witchcraft, or we say, fuck that, I'm not down with this thing no more. And I'm leaving all this, and I'm down with the free spirit ones. That's a wanderer. You can't wander inside the mind of something. It knows everything. You either gonna participate or you're just gonna be a wanderer. And a lot of us chose the wandering thinking we're creating something that is not already created, that you're not in something. And once you don't know that, you become ignorant to it and you believe you're you. You individualize yourself. And in individualizing yourself, you only cause the problems that you cause to yourself. So a lot of it is the body's trying to call out to the mind to say, yo, relieve me so I can help you. Your mind, we're spoiled. We want what we want. We want how we want, and we don't care about the consequences behind it. And when this happened, we see from obesity take us to diseases, all these different things, even mental issues, just because of where we can't wait for hours to come, or we think we could take that person, or I'm just like him, I could do what he do. Everybody's unique and have their own evolutionary process with them. There's no two people alike. There's no two people supposed to have the same philosophy, the same thing. But we all do share one macabre, or we all have a macabre. And this macabre is your loss. So if something was wrong with you, from you being sick to you being shot to poverty, it's because you violated your own macabre. It came back onto you. Seeking help is not the question. The second is to seek, find a way to correct what you did. Go give away money. Go feed some animals. Fix that you violated, and you will see that you get back everything that you're supposed to. It's our ignorance of not seeing the gods that is the cause of our diseases, bad luck, and everything we see. They're here. They control your organs. They control your prosperity and your growth. These things is real. So I just wanted to say that. Let's get back to the body. So the ethereal part of you, And you have an astral part with animals, ethereal part with plants. That's why we said minerals and vitamins. So now, in the ethereal part is only a head. Your only ethereal body is your head. Your lower body is an astral body. The astral body don't have a head because it's only going to assume a real head when you die. When you die, your head and your astral body is going to align to make one body. You understand? And this is not your permanent body. This body is going to go find the soul now. It's going to take you to your soul. Once you get to the soul is going to take you to the spirit up here, if you make it up here. If your soul wasn't trained, if you didn't take yourself off attachments, if you're still in relationship, you still having kids and fucking, your soul is going back to repeat everything again until you learn disattachments and loneliness or hermeticism, aestheticism, single life like a god that you are, because you're only a god. You can't be nothing else. If your parents is gods, then you're a god too, unfortunately. So what we seeking in this world is a myth, and it's part of the democratic governmental plan to keep everybody here as servants, taxpayers. Look at the fact. If they didn't know this, your name wouldn't be in all capital letters because they're not talking to you. They're talking to the fantasy you. They would never do that to the lowercase u, with this that's under the common law. But they know you're fantasizing, so they sell you what you want. And so they give you your all caps name and tell you, come work, drive a car. You think it's your car. You think it's your apartment. You think it's your... You don't own nothing, man. Everything, they own it. It's not you they give it to. They give it to your all caps corporate person they invented off of you because that's your fantasy. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. The head and the body lines up to take it to the soul. But the soul, it had to be trained. That's why you try to do it while you're alive. You're going to go through training when you're dead, which is like hell. That's the thing they call hell. But while you're alive, you go through meditation. When you meditate, you see these demons that's in the spirit that control your chakras. You will deal with them because it's how you think. You see one. What you think is what you believe, and what you believe is what you're going to see. Until you stop believing and stop thinking, you will see what's really there. And what's really there? Yourself. Yourself. Yourself, yourself, yourself. The many yous, the splits that happen from when your mother left your father, you split. From when your father and mother, when you say your parents first hit you, you split. Your first love heartbreak, you split. Every time you was repressed, you split. And so you have many yous. That's why the man says, come to me and I'll make you whole. We're all splits. It's a fact. And so once you realize that, you won't be afraid of what you're seeing because you're only seeing different splits of yourself. It's for you to make yourself whole again and come to terms with those parts of yourself that is sneaky, covetous, lying, backstabbing, backbiting. All of these has to come into one being to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself for you to take the righteous path, for you to get up to your higher brain. You have to be honest with yourself. It's not a brain that lies to itself. You can't lie to your soul. You can't. So if you ain't honest with yourself and accept the truth about yourself, if you're even lame, you gotta accept that. If you're great, you gotta accept whoever you are. If you can't accept yourself, you can't change yourself. You can never fix what you don't know is broken. That's a fact. Once you're able to see what's broken, ethereal is the head, astral is the body. Yes, Freddie. So you got two parts to yourself. Also now, astral is the shadow. A lot of us, we don't have different shadow. You don't have your shadow. I don't have my shadow. You have your, it's one shadow for everybody. It's a shadow. This shadow is more in um the Quran and those Islamic books, also in the Bible. No, hell no, they ain't gonna teach you that. But it's in there. But what you're talking about is your shadow, is the witnesser. This is part of your ego, the one who's gonna bear witness to you, or the Anubis that's gonna wear your heart. It holds all your repressions. It holds all your fears. It's you. but not you. The things that you couldn't face, it faced it for you. When you was afraid to fight whoever, it jumped in your body and you fought, and then it came back out. When you was afraid to say no, it jumped in your body and said no, and then it came back. But it's your repressed. It's you created it. It's who your true self is. So as you get older, it's gonna come out back on you. It's gonna turn on you because you're compressing it. As you older now, it's gonna your compression get weaker and weaker, and you become it. That's when you become the grumpy old person, or you're just not right. You've been drinking. You're sick. The God's tearing you up now. So you must face it now and clear it. It don't have nothing to do with cursing nobody out. There's no such thing as a high person who can't say "fuck you," "get the fuck out of here," or a low person. It's just not about morals. It's about your truth. Tell the truth. A lot of us is around things that we cannot be honest with, not to ourselves, not to the person we're with. If you could do that, you're on your way to your higher self. It's repressed. Remember, you hit it because your parents was the first to make you repress yourself. They beat you for whatever. You can't be yourself. Then school repress you. You got to be a student. You're not a student. You're a human being. They make you a student. The only time you're not repressed is when you hit the streets and you're with your friends and everything. You be yourself. So these repressions now is like a habit that you're gonna keep repeating if you're not too sure about a person until the person open up to you. You're repressed. But you need to pass that repression so that you could take that shadow out of you, these demons out of you, and put it outside of you to make it work for you. It's a power that you have within yourself, but it's repressed. And the only time it's going to come up is when you really, really pissed off, or something gets you to the point, or when you get drunk. When you get older, it becomes schizophrenia. So I'm teaching you now how the ancients did it, how to get into the God world, because that will stop your soul. Remember, we talking about that astral ethereal taking you to your soul. Which way it's gonna go now depends on what it's attached to. I'll give you personal experiences now. I first learned it while I was in the bottom of it. You could say my soul was at the beginning here on earth with me, and I was being tortured by greys, reptilians, all the different things I tell you about. That from the Dracos to all the tortured. I was scared to death until some angels came and fought, helped me fight. And so when I started to, because I thought I was some great magician, great this, I'm equating it. I thought it was me. But outside of me saying it's me, when the lights is off and the curtains is closed, it's hell going on back there. It's like everything is alive in my room. They're all over the place. And I'm like, what is this? It turned into a shopping mall in here with these beings. And I'm like, what the fuck? So only thing I could do is like, no, it gotta be a God, one, because somebody gotta have control over all of this. Everybody wasn't killing each other and just going crazy. It was like order. So I'm like, nah, this is not normal. Like, it's not like I could control it. So once I realized that, that's what made me start thinking. Then I was find myself in relationship with different spirits, and these relationships was sexual. And the sexual part now, I'm thinking she's my queen. It's actually like a Egypt thing where I was king and had the throne, and she's queen and she's on the throne. And it's sexual with Anubis. Everybody is sexual. It was like a event, and I watched her get fucked by everybody. And so she's sitting there and we're talking, and then all of a sudden somebody just come and stick it in, and she's like, I'm sorry. Oh God, sorry. Because it's the sexual energy. That's the life you're gonna live. That's your thing. You're God for that. Chaos God, yes, that's dumb. That Egypt thing that you see the regala and images in, yes, that's dumb. You understand Kundalini? Yes, that's dumb. But that's not me. I saw that in meditation. I participated in it because it's a so real experiment. But my heart was broken when I saw that. So I said, nah, that's not what I want. And when I did that, it floated me up. It floated me up. And I wasn't about relationships no more. I wasn't sexual chasing the yo, what's up? All that left me. I didn't. It didn't wasn't my forte. And what came into me after that? Crystals, the clouds, the gods. I started seeing other things. And so I'm telling you about that attachment so you know it's real. It's something that changed my life just from that. Just seeing that in the astral changed me the way I see it. So when you see things with your soul being attached and you have desires, the best thing to do is try to break it from this algorithm of repetitiveness. It's best to just hold yourself. I'm not saying you to deny yourself experience because that is the key to learning or the key to activation. But if you're repetitively doing something for no reason or wasting your energy, cut it. It's not progressive. All right. Now, so when the soul goes up to spirit, it's very hard to get up to spirit because soul has to go through so much. It probably stays in the moon next. It learns its lessons in the moon. And in the moon, it's what it believes. So if you believe you're from the Arcturians and from Pleiades, this is what your belief is going to take over your mind, and you're going to see that. You got to realize you're not a physical body first. You're a soul. You're energy. Let's put it like that. You don't have no biology no more. But you're gonna believe you could walk around, you could go see these, they got flying ships. So you're gonna see that in your mind for a while till you realize you're the ultimate. You could pop up here, you could pop up there, you could be the ship, you could be the car, you could do anything you want once you leave your body. But that's what people believe, so they'll be in the moon for a while till they break their beliefs. Something always happen that is gonna make them hurt. It's through hurt and pain we leave these sheaths of ourself and just float out. Your consciousness go up to the next one. It's the same thing in your root chakra. You start off sexual. By the time you 12, 13, you got a girl, you dating, you fucking. By 1920, you in a relationship. By 2021, she done fucked you over. And so by then, you already get an idea. The wall is up now. And so this is the same thing. You moved up in perception. So in the same way, in the astral, the soul, that once the astral takes it to the soul is going to believe what it want or how you trained it from being in the physical today. And it's going to go around doing that. So if you say you're going to save the world, so you're going to keep trying to save the world, not knowing that the world belongs to this higher God, and he's keeping the world how it is. I met Horus Moses. That's right. Okay, Vibes Rational. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. And once you realize that and you break these things, your body and your mind, like how she said she just saw Horus Moses, it could go and see these things. How is these things possible? Let me get my thing real quick. Look, I want to show you something. I got over here a tarot deck of cards. It'll help explain things better. I don't really love tarot though. Tarot is so scary. Dad always has a crazy look on his face. It's like he sees things and he looks afraid. He's always looking outside. It's there. But don't look at it in that way. It's Kabbalah, man. Life is Kabbalah. It's not nothing was and it wasn't. They had to put on a big mystery and a big show to keep us from not seeing this. Our generations before. So as you wake, you're gonna see it. Okay, so this is a deck of cards. I love my Aleister Crowley tarot, so I mess with those. So let's take any card, the Queen of Cups, right? This Queen of Cups would be a force inside of you, all right? And she, now, say she's pushing for you because you drink a lot or you fuck a lot of women. She's pushing for you to change. So you got 72 demons inside of you, the 72 Gotia of Solomon, the 72 name of gods. Psychologically, these is what Carl Jung called archetypes. So you got archetype forces that resided from the beginning in you. Nothing dies, it just transforms and it comes into the human body. So say now, can you pull a card for me? Vibes rational, I'll do that. All right, so now I got it, yeah, the right way. And then let's say, what's this one? This one is art. Let's do art. All right, art. Say art now with this one, the Queen of Cups. She's pushing for you to, you as an artist, you're a creator. She's pushing for you to be a creator. This is another force in you that if you see you draw, you do things, you have a spirit. These is where we're going up now when I say that the soul is going up to spirit. But spirit is going to have to choose to accept you if you had dropped those beastly things. Your impulsive desire to be in a relationship, you can't be alone. Because spirit is the actual ethereal force. It's a gas. What you think, you become. Poof, it shifts. Poof, it shifts. So if you're up there worry warding, what if this happened? You're going to bring that up in the spirit world. That's going to happen. If you think you're a tough guy, poof, you're going to be that tough guy. It's a thing, whatever you think. So spirit needs you natural. You have to be you. They might send you to go heal somebody and she's naked and you're like, damn, she's fine. Poof, you turn into just a sex scene. You can't have those type of thoughts in your head. You can't think unnatural, unwrong things. So that's why spirit is blocked off from the soul until the soul is purified. When it remembers who it is, then it crosses over to join the Queen of Cups and everybody that's in a big conglomerate of one energy, but they push out and manifest and show themselves when they're ready and the motive of what they're trying to do in that individual force's life. So that's how it will work. Now, you got the moon. So say you had these three together. The Queen of Cups is pushing you for your arts, right? So now this will be the nature of your problem. Say if you had a problem, the nature of your problem would have been the Queen of Cups. You have a spirit in you that's fucking with you. And why is she fucking with you? This is always the second card. She's fucking with you because she wants you to push yourself to be out into your artwork, to be a creator. And then the next one is going to be why. And you would say because you're in the moon, you're always dreaming, you're always imagining, you're always thinking things. You're always never there. And it's not progressive for you in life. So then comes the Hierophant. The Hierophant is going to be now the force that something is going to happen to you and you're going to change. With the Hierophant controlling what's going to happen to you. What's going to happen to you? The next card, strife. You're going to go through strife. Once you go through strife, you pop back up now. Let me see what's this. See the scale? The scale show balance now. Adjustment. You make adjustment. Once you make adjustment, you accept defeat. You get it? Once you accept defeat, you're at peace. Does this all make sense? Just drawing the tarot cards. I didn't even have to shuffle them. So you get to understand how everything works within yourself. So once you understand that these forces that is inside of you, that is this called the spirit, is these things that we just said now. It's a whole bunch of them and they're inside of you. So once you understand that, let me draw this card for you real quick. Shuffle these up. Okay. There you go, Vibes. Your card is the world famous Princess of Sword. How do I know it was that? You see how you get your card? This is you too, Princess of Sword. Go look that up. Tell me what it says for Princess of Sword. I'm not going to give you it. I want you to tell me what Princess of Sword said before I break it down. In the meantime, I'm gonna come back and let me finish this now. What I was saying now, this is important. So once you realize that's the soul now, is you got to go up to spirit, or what we call spirit is also mind, nous. That's your ultimate. Up in spirit, it's no image there. When you in soul, you have obtuse image. It's fractal. It's not whole image. Yeah, Princess of Sword. You see it? Tell me what that means. Put it up in the comment, and let me see if you got it right. It fits your description. But anyways, now you see when you in the astral as the soul, you going through all the lessons in the moon that you need to evolve. Your soul has been here before. Nobody's lessons is probably going to be concurrent with somebody else's. And you're just going to go through the things you need to do till you evolve and you realize you're not a body, that you're a consciousness. That's the only thing you need to know to get the soul to go to spirit, because you're going to think you're something. You're going to think you're this. Once you realize you're none of these things and you're just consciousness, you float up now. Because you learn there's no thought that's going to come to make you have those things, because you don't have a body. You don't have a form. You're just mind. So now you're able to do whatever you want from up at this frequency. It's like you're up in the ionosphere where telephone signals go. Cable signals, all the signals come up in the magnetic field. This is where you at now, magnetic field. So what you want to do? All right, let's go see LK. Toof, you pop up right in LK's house. And you do like, okay, come back now. Where you want to go? Let me go see what Enki doing. Toof, you pop up in Enki place. And go back now. You see, you control your thoughts. You get to control everything down underneath. It's that simple. It's that simple. If you choose to want to come back and take form in a body and redo everything, it's your choice. But you got to make it up to there. Once you make it up to there, that's what's called a mystic, a shaman. It's not too many people. So I wanted you to get that understanding of it. And like we're saying now, with the body, let's break down to how the body died real quick so that you understand how you die. What kills you is the same thing that keeps you alive. How's that possible? Minerals. Minerals is what's called a destroyer. They actually break down. Like how minerals will work. Minerals will make your nails fall off. It don't make it grow. It's the astral, it's the ethereal part of you, the head, that keep putting it back. So when you take a mineral and make it dissolve faster, it make you break down faster, but it also make the ethereal put it back faster. So literally, for minerals that you're taking to work is to destroy you faster. So the astral work, the ethereal work faster. Ethereal bodies will keep you healthy, keep putting all the stuff back that you consider mineral to be doing. So what now happens when you die? The ethereal head leaves, so the mineral eats it away now, but nothing put it back. That's called decay. Ooh, you like that? You see how simple that is? So the mineral body is our enemy at the end, and its astral form is what you see in air, is these creatures, these entities, these beings. We share a mineral world with them, and that's why we take minerals. Minerals destroy the body. The ethereal part put it back fast, and that's how you see growth of nails, hair, whatever it is, when you put in the minerals to do it. But devoid of the ethereal body, the mineral decomposes the body, it decays. But if you was in your body and you died in your body, you wouldn't die and leave. You're gonna sit in your body for 3 days as the mineral decay you. It look like you're being attacked by demons, by spirits, by these. Every mineral have a ethereal form too, a body. Then you have all the thought forms you created with your thoughts. They're all inside of you too. You have an infinite porthole in your skull. It don't have a size to it. It could be filled infinitely. Your body contains 48 constellations. So imagine what's in your head. So anyways, all of this has to come out through your pineal. but you're going to be consciously experiencing it like an attack for 3 days. This is called the Bardo in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, where you enter the Bardo. This is 3 days of just demons, or what you say Jesus is in hell for 3 days. This is your consciousness leaving everything and seeing all that you did. And all that you do is created in thought forms. Air, oxygen give you the ability to create thought forms. Everything you think, all negative thoughts, positive thoughts, have a form to it you create in this world. And everybody's pushing them into this air, and we picking them up from each other. So you face your thought forms on what is called the mineral world, is these crazy beings that you're gonna be running from your root chakra up your chakras. You're gonna see them coming like destroying buildings, like they ripping it apart till you run up into your medulla, and that's where you're gonna be in a chamber. It looked like a big cathedral, like a church with like levels. It's high. You're not gonna go through the church or down here. It seems like you're gonna go up it's to the ceiling, because the cathedral top is where the man on the throne sits. The cathedral top is right here. And as you get past the cathedral top, the crowns open up. It's like it unzips, and you see gods is going to stick their hand through, just like in the Masonic rite, when you see the hand coming through the ceiling, pulling the black people up, or whatever, the black hand pulling the people up, whatever it may be. That's what happens next. And then you come out through, or whatever. When you do, you're in space flying around. You're an orb now, a little orb. That's how it is. So, that's really the journey of the astral body and the soul with the consciousness. But when you die, you don't feel it. Also, when you die, it feels like pleasure. It's like having sex. Unfortunately, it's nothing like how it looks on the outside. On the outside, you might be asphyxiating, car just ran over your head, and it's your body. It don't feel like that to you inside. Inside, it's just you. They put like, you ever get into a fight and you don't feel no pain, or it's cut you don't feel it. Chemicals start excreting that is like the greatest DMT and adrenaline, all this stuff come together and coat you in there, and it just feel like something is taking you away. They say it feel like sex too. So that's why you see a lot of the old saints used to do marchinism with the lion eating them up and all this stuff, because it doesn't hurt. It only hurt the skin until that nerve is cut or whatever. Then for there, the person is just in a space, and then his astral body is going to come to him, and his ethereal head come, and he don't even remember nothing. Memories don't go with you. Only thing that go with you when you die is your attitude, your demeanor, your feelings, your emotions. That's why you have to put it in check now, because that blocks you from up here, remember, and you're going to come back, or you're going to haunt now. This is where you get into psychic readings and people who be thinking they could read the sheath body when the consciousness left of these demons that is trying to hold on to their physical attachments. So they're going to try to friend you. They're trying to talk to you. They're going to act like it's them and all this other stuff just to hold on to something, but it's not them. It's just the body. It's not the consciousness. And it's a difference. All right, cool. So let me see. Did I miss anything with that? On the anatomy, I think I covered enough of that for you to understand the journey. Um, Can you pull a card? Okay, I did all that. Do you know how the universe came into being? I know that we're just one entity split into different forms, but how did we all come into being? Well, you know what? This is the easiest thing, but it's the hardest thing to grasp. It's because we all have a beginning, but there's things that have no beginning, that always was. You're one of them. It's that simple. For something to create something that's infinite, it had to be infinite within itself. That's the truth. And you're not creating something that is infinite. You creating something that is expanding. So what we're doing is a circle, right? You go around the Milky Way and then you start all over. You live and then you die. You live and then you die. You live and then you die. But it's going like this. Your consciousness is here now on this side. Then your consciousness is going to go to the dream world for a while. And then your consciousness is going to go back to this world. It always been like that. That's what make the world work. You make the world work by doing that. It's like the unconscious makes the conscious. If it wasn't no unconscious, there wouldn't be no conscious. Does that make sense? Okay. Then you get to understand what's going on here. So you need night for day, day for night. You need good for bad. Most people learn from bad to be good, and most people who was good, they're going to turn bad. It's just the force of nature, duality. There you go, James. It's a very important thing for us to grasp. And once you're able to grasp that concept, you're able to see more of what is here, more of everything. I'm going to give you a good example. Let's look at this on the computer. I'm going to see if I can pull this up. All right. 1 second. Equilibrium. That's the key. Over here, I was looking at this. Let me see if I can show you this. This right here is from C.J. Jung. It's called the phenomenon of the way, or the disintegration of consciousness. And it's telling you here that the medium between the narrowly delimited by intensely clear individual consciousness and the vast expanse of collective unconsciousness is dangerous, because the unconscious has a decidedly distinguishing effect on consciousness. According to the Human Ching, this effect belongs to a particular phenomenon of Chinese yoga. It says, every separate thought takes shape and becomes visible in color and form. Right here, you see this? It says, every separate thought takes shape and becomes visible in color and form. The total spiritual power, let me make sure y'all can see that. You can see that the total spiritual power unfolds its traces. The relevant illustration in the text, stage 4, shows a sag sunk in contemplation, his head surrounded by tongues of fire. Out of his 5 human figures emerges. These 5 again split into 25 smaller figures. This would be a schizophrenic person if it were to become permanent state. Let's look at it. This is what he's talking about. You see this right here? This is the one you, but you have all this going on. This is what you don't see. This is an old book. And you see that it's up here what it says. This is called separation of the spirit of the independent existence. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to realize that's your job here, to learn how to do that through these techniques. It says origin of new being in the place of power. You see that? This one say gathering the light. You see that? So these is what we have to do. Real quick, I just wanted to show you that if we don't know what our purpose is, we're here to do those things so we could actually ascend. I want to read to you first a reference with the gods, so you get to see. I was showing what the gods is and how they work. Let me see if I could pull up the book real quick. It's a few of them that teaches us, but when I be telling you the gods is plants, it's kind of hard for us to grasp that in trees. But this has been written in ancient books, and by me being able to pull it up for you and show you it in, not just in Gnostics. The Gnostics was the first ones to start documenting that the tree of life and the tree of good and evil, whatever, was angels and gave the name of them. But like for me, when I came here on the island, I started seeing beings coming out the trees. So I was fucked up. Yo, I was running. I was scared. I used to jump in the taxi no matter where I'm walking at. I see orbs. I'm like, yo, I'm running, running. It was like dogs chasing me. I was green to all this, but it became fascinating to me. And so when I bring it to you in the way I'm bringing it to you, believe me, this is something that traumatized me. I'm like, what the hell? I couldn't believe these things. And so now it's normal. I'm one with them. I see them and I understand them. But the natives here know it already. So we thinking that, wow, you bugging out. No, you'd be like, yo, I saw this thing fly out the tree. They'll tell you, oh, that's normal. We see that all the time. So I want to bring this to your attention so you get an idea now. This is the title of the book right here. Let me make sure you can see it. It's a very old book. Could you read that? Let me see. What if you live with people that are close in proximity with you and don't have the means to move out now? It doesn't have no problems to do with that. It's how you perceive yourself is really it. So this is the book really. I hope you can see that. And I'm gonna read you the beginning intro. I'm gonna show you the page I'm gonna read. And I wanna thank this is called, let me show you again. It says there, the Pleasure Garden. You see it? The Pleasure Garden of Shadow. Real thing right here. Okay. Now, the first page is the exordium. You see it? If y'all want to screenshot that exordium right there, you can see it for yourself. Hold it back. But I'm going to tell you what it says. I'm going to hold it sideways. All right. It says, listen to this. The sages of old instruct that the occult knowledge of trees and herbs, as well as the sacred art of healing, divination, and enchantment, was given to mankind in remote times by the gods. According to the teachings of some religious traditions, these were the so-called fallen angels, exiled from the celestial mansion by a jealous demiurge, or descending by will to share their divine power with the race of men. The ancient book of Enoch reveals how these heavenly luminaries, known as the Watchers, took the daughters of men and wives and taught them the art of astrology, writing, metalworking, perfumery, and herbalism. By other accounts, these tutelary divinities were the beloved nymphs, tree spirits, fairy folk, slivan, jinn, or rituic entities allied into the dominion of the wilderness, such as good Chiron, that venerable centaur who taught the great god Asclepius the discipline of medicine. In many traditions, it was the trees and herbs themselves or the land where they were rooted who taught the plant doctors their art, often relieving themselves by way of revealing themselves by way of a unique language of the trees, whereby vegetable powers was accessed by song and incantation. With the ascendance of monotheist cults, a great many of these plant luminaries was assimilated to a false lexicon of demons, and the art of magical, once the pursuit of sage, was made heresy. Eventually, nature herself came to be viewed as an evil spirit. And this is important because that's what's going on now. What y'all calling demons and all this stuff is nature, and y'all view it as an evil spirit when it's God. But anyways, that's on y'all. It says, eventually nature herself came to be viewed as an evil spirit, representative of power to be bound, exploited, and civilized. Despite profane and slander of these who sought these demise, the teachings of the old gods endured throughout generation of mankind and were passed on to a few who would wield them. Some were born spirit touched into power called second sight. Others came to rekindle it by faith, devotion, or cunning, and yet others is dwelt as seed, dominant until his warden illuminates roused and from sleep to archisy, whatever. Among these bearing the gifts of the light, there has always been certain ones among the summoned unto the sacred groves and garden, so the isolated wilderness, wherein dwelt the spirit of the pleasure of the garden of shadows. Okay, I want you to Google this word. It's called wartmongers. W-O-R-T-C, no, wart cunning, I mean. WORTCUNNING. You could Google that. Google wart cunning, and you will see that there's people out there who is able to actually, communicate with the trees and get information from the trees. I got a few of them, but that book, this one right here, it's all about that. So you get to see it's actually people who knew that the trees is angels and beings and they have benefits. And if you're not recognizing them for who they are, you're not talking to them, you're not going to share energy with them. A lot of meditations and yogas we do with trees, or we don't know we doing with trees because they're outside of our window and we go to sleep, they interact with us. Also, if you have any type of anxiety, stress, depression, you could go meditate with the tree, go by the tree, go under the tree and meditate, and you will see that the energy from the tree get transferred to you or balance you out. Tree meditation is a powerful meditation. It actually align you and actually activate your third eye. I'm being real with you. It's up to the spirit of the tree to interact with you, but it's up to you to go out there and interact with the tree. So I'm giving you ways to tap into your higher self and to get energy when your energy is low, to activate your chakras when you need it. All right, so now, when we talked about the internal body, that's like most of what you need to know as far as your journey here in your astral body and your ethereal body. So if you say ethereal body and you just see a head, like when they say the God head, that's when they're talking about just the ethereal. That's mind, That's why it's called nous. It's like a gas. So it's more there you see symbols, images, thoughts are coming to you, intuition are coming to you. Now, astral, you're talking your fears, your desires, sexuality, you making money, all those other things. I seen a tree say, it loved me with symbols. That's dope. You should have took a picture of it. I said, oh, okay. Yo, you should take pictures of those things, man. Those things sit on your phone and bring you luck, man. Believe it or not, those is the true absolute power. Okay, James. Yeah, I had his branch. Oh, yeah, it's funny when you actually look at the trees and you look at how the branches intertwine. I got one right here. Look at this. Let me show you this. This is from This is from what's called the dog fennel. I got this from dog fennel. So this is dog fennel. What does this look like to y'all? Look at this. This is dope, right? I just had to keep this. And I made it into a little thing and I got it sitting up on my thing. But it's just the way this look, how it weaved itself. I didn't weave this. It did itself. It looked like the DNA symbol. You see, I make like a DNA type of weave. It follows our body, yo. The universe is worked out. When you pay attention to details, you see yourself in it. Look at how it makes a DNA strand. It weaves like a DNA. Is that coincidental or is that God? You got to see what's going on. If you don't pay attention to what's going on, this will get past you and he'll get past you. But this, like I said, this is from dog fennel. I just made the extract. No. So, all right. Now that you understand, it's a lot of things going on. Let me give y'all a little knowledge of some things that can help you. At the time I ever seen a tree, and it happened. It interacted with you. Okay, so let's talk about now some health benefits of the guys. We're gonna go to Arnesia. You know, you got arnica. Arnica is good for anti-inflammatory. It'll help you out if you ever looking to make your own oils or ointments or soaps or whatever. It's good to add arnica to it. It's great for bruises, sore muscles, arthritis, and it helps us. So, you could also use basil. Basil is also a good additive to add, or you could use it to make a tea or whatever, and it's good anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antibacteria, all those things that will be good to add to your oil if you're trying to make a good topical oil for healing or whatever, any pain or anything. You could use calendula. You got bee balm. It's a few of them, catnip, camellia, cayenne. All of those is things that you could put with your oil to actually help you heal. You know, so it's like when you healing with the gods. Oregano oil is great for mucus. Um, oregano oil is great. You know, all of these is what I'm telling you. Yeah, clove oil. What is clove oil good for? Reflection. Let me see if you know. Like, it's not like a popular thing to just get the oils and just have them all. And we really could be in an ailment and have the remedy and don't know what the remedy do. It's good to spend time with your oil, spend time with your extract, spend time with it so you know what to do. Read up on it, study it, because then when you know, you apply it right, it work instead of you applying it and it don't work. Like, you know, cayenne pepper block pain receptors. So if you in any making any type of oil and you want something to stop people pain, you will put um, pine cayenne in it, which is capsaicin. You know, and capsaicin is actually in, you know, from aspirins to different type of medicine for pain. Clove oil is like an antibacterial. No, it's not an antibacterial. Clove is for pain. You could check it. It's anti-inflammatory and it's good for pain. So you could use clove oil. Was actually the a first form of anesthesia. It's good for your mouth, for bacteria, germs in your mouth. You could put it in your mouth to they usually put it like in Listerine. You can make different type of mouthwashes with it. So it's good for that. But remember now, it's for external use and topical use. Oils is only for outside. So you be looking for something for external bacteria and external cleaning. The clove will give you the bacteria cleaning, but it's not as powerful element as much it is as a pain blocker. You would want to go more like tea tree oil is actually now a antiviral thing that if you have eczema or little things like, you know, wigworms on your skin, you put the tea tree oil, it kills everything real quick. So you got different ones that if you could focus with, it does, you could really make a powerful oil. Yeah, so you know, it's important for you to grasp that, because when we deal with the gods, it's like you know how to finesse the oils, how to put them together, because it's the same like the pharmaceutical drugs. That's the same thing they do. So by you understanding it, you'll be able to help yourself by being a creator. Remember, you're here to create things. So if you could go and buy it in the store, don't you're not gonna get no lesson from that, but it's better to go make it yourself. You will learn something from that. So try to make as much things as you can yourself, homemade this, homemade that, for the creative side of your mind. Put cayenne pepper and marijuana oil butter. Nice, yes. That will relieve any pain. Plus, I guess, you know, it's not just a pain reliever. You know, cayenne pepper is like one of the most amazing herbs in the world. It's, if one doctor uses it as a cure-all for cure everything in Africa, just cayenne pepper from everything. So cayenne pepper can be used to do a lot of things. Never knew. Thanks. I made a coconut oil shea butter skin formula with oils, then projected my energy into it, and it makes my skin glow and really remain young. That's a good one. Reflection. The shea butter is great. The shea butter does this thing. So these is the thing you want to add to it. Like you could add dandelion to your oil. Dandelion, peace and best and astronomical. Dandelion will actually kill any type of bacterial parasite. Plus, it's a pain reliever. You could use chickweed. Chickweed is good. The daisy itself actually promotes any type of bruise or eczema. You want to make an eczema oil, you could use daisy for the inflammation and for the eczema itself. Um, you got, let me see, elderflowers. Elderflowers is good for eczema too and for wounds. Like if you got cuts or whatever, you could use that. Lavender. Everybody know lavender is an anti-inflammatory. What is your perspective on the monotonic gold? Monatomic gold is good. You're gonna get some results with it. It's good to keep those metals in your body, not the heavy metals, but it's good to keep some gold and some copper and some silver. I got plants that actually have it. You get it from plants such as yam leaves, your cassava. These is good in silver and copper, and it's been seen not just to be good as an anti-inflammatory and to prevent cancer, but it actually enhances the cell metabolism. So monatomic gold is good. Just take it in micro units. You take micro doses is better than big doses. If you push beyond a certain point, you pass the threshold of healing. But if you do it in micrograms or little units, you'll be able to keep it in the body without actually causing any type of disturbance to your homeostasis, the level of your body, but enhance it just a little. So micro units of your vitamins, your herbs, and everything will keep you going. So you could use lemongrass. Lemongrass is good too. It's an antibiotic, and it actually helps to induce any type of pain, antifungal for if you put it on your feet or anywhere you got fungus. Mint too. Mint also relieve pain and it's antifungal. The mint, you could digest that and use it as a mouthwash. You put those two with the clove, you make your own mouthwash right there. So you got that. Um, Let me see. You could use oregano. Oregano is very powerful if you put it in an oil for infections. It's great. And if you add a little vitamin E to it, you put a little vitamin E to it, it actually promote good skin health. That's how you would do it to make something nice and healthy to heal. You got pine. Pine got vitamin C and it's an antioxidant, antibacterial too. So all these things is things you could add to your own home remedies. I do them on a high scale. I make them for people. I got different things. Let me see if I got one here. I just, yo, this was an emergency call. I had to run out like an emergency doctor. Would you believe? Oh my God. If you was in here, this is mint, right? But this is a special thing, wintergreen mint, and it has clove, menthol, and one icy thing that when you touch this thing get cold as hell, and then it gets hot as hell. It goes from hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold. So it's specially made in a way that it actually can reduce inflammation using hot to cold method. Lemon verbena is polymethyl. Yeah, it's good for drinking. Yeah, oh, I love the verbena family of trees. I got a whole bunch of them around here, and all of them smell very, very strong. It's a very good smell. So I do recommend them. One of the verbena I use is called chromalina. Chromalina is a verbena, and it smells amazing. Plus, it's good for any type of pain, arthritis, any type of inflammation. It's good for fibroids. So I don't want to bore y'all now talking about all this medical stuff. I know y'all ain't into medical. Y'all want to hear about astral stuff and flying around and all that. So, but the medical stuff is important. It's on the journey too. I'm pretty sure when y'all come up into it, they're gonna get y'all into crystal for healing, light and sun for healing, the moon and the sun, and then they get you into the herbs. This is all part of ascension, the journey of learning what the earth is and what's on it. Which oil do you recommend for cuts and wounds? Um, Cuts and wounds, you could use if recommended oil. I would recommend then the tea tree. Oh shit, what's that? Tea tree oil. You could use the cotton seed oil or cotton bark oil. You could also, if you could find dogwood. Dogwood is excellent for wound. Dog blood is excellent for wound. Um, you could use the lemongrass. The lemongrass is good for wound too. Also, the dandelion. If you could find the dandelion, that's good for it. I have a million crystals. I'm like a crystal hoarder. That's right, James. There's nothing wrong with that. That should send you a lot of energy. You should have a powerhouse of energy. Coconut oil. Coconut oil is good. It actually helps to promote the cellular level of your skin. It's I think it's polysaturated, so it's good for topical use. Can you explain pranayama? I feel like I'm going to do it because I'm breathing very low amounts of air, but I'm struggling to keep it going, and then I start breathing air. Okay, well, the first thing you should try to do is not focus too much on your breathing, then focus on your breathing. When you start off, you want to actually put yourself into a symbionic state. It got to do, your breathing has a lot to do with your thoughts, and by you entering a symbiotic state, you control your thoughts. It's like you get bored. Like, you ever been so bored, you be like, oh boy. That's the start of going into pranayama. It's like you want to put your state into such a comfortable state. It's like you're going into a hypnosis now. You're gonna hypnotize yourself. And so by you first being bored is the beginning of hypnosis. And so when you start to see everything, you want to look in like a trance. Yeah, astronomical, the easiest way to go into it is gazing. Okay, okay, I am. That's right. Now, with gazing, give you the ability to go into like a symbionic state, or to just take yourself out of your body. Um, I would recommend in the beginning to have something to gaze on, a tree, symbol, a crystal. A crystal, actually, y'all exchange energy if you use a crystal. So you need a symbol to start off with. And by having a symbol, that'll be your energy exchange, your energy power up. So let's say you're using something and you stare and say like at this is gonna be your image. So once you, Anki, not able to do OB anymore, any help? Oh, it's LK. You must be getting either you must have put on weight, or you're getting busy. Things has happened in your life now, and you're not as cleared up as you used to be. And so that's why it's getting hard to come out your body. I'll explain that real quick. Now, when you're gonna have your concentration to actually go into pranayama, you're gonna need something to focus on so you could leave your body. This will fall for you too. Okay, you could use the same procedure for both of y'all. So get something. It could be. It doesn't matter. This symbol right here, and you would just stare at it, gaze, do the gaze on it. Gaze on it until it takes on a life of its own. And that's how you would see everything, because the symbol will represent life and all the different aspects of your life in it. You know, you could draw one, you could go and get yourself an actual mandala if you want, but it's the start of concentration to pranayama, which will be breaking the conscious mind and tapping into the subconscious mind, without imposing your opinion or your views into it so that you get a natural experience of who you are and learn more about yourself. So the first steps I would say for you to do that is to get you a mandala symbol, a crystal, and nurture your mind by taking at least 25 minutes a day and gazing, just gaze. Eventually, you gaze into another world. You won't hear your room, the kids, the TV. It'll disappear, and you know now you left or you're in someplace else. It's the start. Because with doing the pranayama and having your eyes open, you're gonna start a journey into another world that will your eyes will be able to see shadows, other images, the gods, to be honest. So that's the difference between doing it with your eye open and doing it with your eyes closed. It's better to practice it at first with your mind open, with your eyes open. Eventually, this image was going to be embedded in your eyes, and so when you do close your eyes, the same image will be there, and you could start your mandala with it. And once you start, it become malleable. It's like the same thing now become water, and you go right through it. That's when it become mine. But you have to start now by gazing, and once you gaze, the two-dimensional image will take on a three-dimensional look. Like it won't be here no more, it'll be here. It'll be floating halfway between the air and you. So that's how you want to catch it, so you can see into the other worlds or to see more of the gods. Or while you're seeing it in a three-dimensional half air view, energy's coming to you. This is called energy work. You're getting energy coming to you. You're rejuvenating. Would you go inside a sensory deprivation tank? No, I don't know. How do you call that that chart? Well, which chart that is? No, I don't know. That's a good question. I think I get, what's that word? Claustrophobic still. Because I spend time in it, but then when I get too much, because where I go, I have to have on a hat. And when you have on a hat and you leave in your body, it's the most painfulest thing in the world. I put on like probably 10, 15 pounds making it so I could be all right for these videos. And so it hurts now when I leave my body. When I was 10, 15 pounds lighter, it was easy. Just putting on 10, 15 pounds, it became hard. It hurts when I leave my body. Then if I'm wearing a hat, it makes it way more harder to leave. Because then it's like you need air. It's a lot. So you have to actually keep your BMI right. You have to have a lot of sun, a lot of energy. You burn in protein. You burn a lot of protein when you body double. And it takes you no breathing. And if you panic and you get kind of nervous, it's going to actually just snap you back in your body. Like you could be in the astral is different. Like if you hear your phone notification go ding, it sounds like somebody's in your head with a hammer going ding. It don't just go ding, it goes ding. You like, oh my God, and you can hear it 10 times and it's like 10. So with it, it's a very sensitive thing. It's good to be in silence. It's good to be comfortable. It's find a comfortable position to be in. There's no set position like you're doing yoga. I do it sometimes hunched over, everything hunched over like I'm sleeping. Different position renders different thing. So don't think there's a set position that for meditation. Find a position you're comfortable in for a long period of time, and that's your meditation position. That's that. Um, Thank you. You've been helping me for more than you can imagine. You're welcome, Astronomical. Cross just showed. This experimentation reminds me of my psychedelic experience where a second logo projected into a third hologram where it was vibrating and shimmering. Reflection. To be honest, reflection, that's how it works. Why you think the movie with Doctor Strange is like that? You see, that's the same thing. It's how your mind works. I'm not supposed to give up too much of this information, so Just take that one that I just said. Doctor Strange is how it works. You know, I had the same issue. I was almost not able to breathe sometime when I was going getting out of my body. Okay, it's okay. You don't have to breathe. Do it. They're teaching you something. Don't be afraid. Just go for it. Take a leap of faith. I did it. It took me years, years. They told me that 4 years ago, don't breathe, and I didn't listen. 4 years later, I feel stupid that I didn't listen. Yo, when you don't breathe, it's the most incredible. You can survive. I don't know if it'd be so dope. I gotta be like, but you ain't touching yourself because you can't move. So I'm gripping the side like, am I still here? Am I alive? Yo, when I say you yank out and it's like you're a 747 taking off in your body, you leaving that shit for real. Everything is going away. Sometimes you're going back like this, and then these things start going sideways. So it's shifting now. This thing is different, man. This is real. I'm not telling you something that you're not capable of doing, anybody's incapable of doing. It's the default of the body. I teach ancient knowledge of what the body do, not modern knowledge of speculation and superstition and maybe and this and that. I look at what the ancients did and shit. I'm going through it, so I say, yo, this is still happening today. And so I'm showing y'all that if you relieve yourself of certain things that happen. My topic is the same. It's not going to change. Why? Because I'm already there and I'm trying to show what was the mistake I made. Why I wasn't able to do this before. And being in the United States and being in the hood and it just wasn't available to me. Now I'm bored. I don't have much to do more than the trees. It's available to me. I get it. So let me tell mine, yo, this is what you need to do. Yo, this is what you need to do. And watch, you'll be available to you. You'll be like, wow, he's right. That's all. So pretty much, we're gonna get more into this another time. I wanna thank you. I guess I got the healing back of the gods, and I'm gonna take it from part two. What I'll do is the OBS thing so that I could pull up a bunch of books. The trees talk to you, do they? The trees is my nightmare, man. You talking about talk to me? These trees come and get me every night. I do not sleep. These trees come alive and they be them thing like Shrek. It be all those things in the cartoons. When I see them, it's unbelievable. It's trees. The trees come and get me. My knowledge come from the trees. The trees is everything. They're not trees. Let me tell you that. So, yes, I do have every night trees journey. I also have the stars. Stars is not what we think they are. I could break down stars. So, all right, out here, you could be staring at the sky, looking at the stars. Then all of a sudden, the star just go pew and gone. I swear to God, we watch this every night. Me and my uncle. That's what I'm saying. The stars that's in the sky, you watching it. It ain't moving. Then all of a sudden, it just shoot, 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 and darts away. We watched that all night. Not UFO, star beings. I remember one time I almost fell over backwards trying to run in my house. When I first started, like, nah, man. I'm watching the star for a few. And then the star decided to break out. So you think I'm standing there like, wow, I'm trying to get the fuck in my house. I'm like, what the fuck? Yo, what the? He's like, man, look, they all over. Sometimes we look high up in the sky. Yo, the stars is there. You look beyond the stars. It's something shooting by, gone, shooting by. We watch this every night. Every night, it's some type of weird thing up in the sky. Some of them be moving like, choo, 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 choo. I'm like, you see this, right? This is not a satellite. And he's just looking at it. We both watching it flicker all over the place. It's going everywhere. So it's showing you it's not normal. So I'm just telling you, all this things is real. I can't explain everything. And I can't explain that, but I know it's beings up there. Cause sometimes they be watching you until you see them, that's when they bounce out. When you see them, but they be watching. So I'm putting you on. Yo, one night I was be out here and I would aim my camera. I'm trying to get one of them telescope things. Y'all gonna trip out when y'all see from out here. These things is not documented. I don't know why nobody don't know about it, but I've been noticed when I came here at night when it's dark, pitch dark. You see things flying around high up in the sky. That ain't normal, man. It ain't normal. Things ain't normal out here, B. I'm putting you on. All right. Okay, yeah, so I explained to you, oh yeah, from the trees, I was saying not only does the trees talk, but also the stars. I get star visitors, all type of weird star beings, from crawling ones that look like amoebas to big warrior looking ones. They come down from a star. It look like a tunnel. It opens up as it come like a cone. And then in the center is a chakra, a circle. I can't make this up. And it goes right to them. You would think you're going on a long ride. It comes straight from them like a prominence will open up and it's a chakra and just cover you. And dude will come walking down out of it all the time, every time. I do it, people is around and see it. I showed my uncle it. So it's not something I'm making up. This is for real. He see it. He'll come here and tell you, yeah, he point to it and show it to me. So there's things here that we still don't understand. There's higher beings here. Beings now, one, two, three, not a being. So many different beings. It's unbelievable. Trust me when I'm telling you this. And none of them is evil, bad, any of that stuff. And I know one thing: all of them don't fuck with that sex and all that shit, violence. Nah, it ain't gonna work if you even have that type of demeanor. That's what I said. So I don't know. I haven't seen nothing evil yet. Something bad. Like how we see in movies or what we're saying out of the Bible or these books, like these reptilian that come to eat us and this. These things don't have a physical body. They don't have organs. They don't have things to eat. What are we talking about? But anyway, that's another topic. I think we mix up our biology and think everything has biology too. And they actually sit down and they putting together with the ratchets set UFOs to come here. We're going over to the Earth. You got your flying ship? What your ship do? It disappear? It teleport? All right, I'm making mine. They don't work like that. They on a whole nother level. Them things is mind beat. These things we hear, there. Whatever they want to do. No ship needed. No human beings do that. Think of your thought. What you thinking when you say a higher being that's in a UFO? That ain't a higher being. That's the government. You, me, we need something to sit in and something fly us around. And we don't even know our other body do that. But these higher beings, nah, they moving. They don't need no ship. Trust me, only ship they flying is dragons and funny things to make you stay away from them so you don't come next to them. You scared to death of them. But inside them dragons and them things, just like in the Mayans, you always see them dragons, but you see a man coming out of it. Consciousness comes out of that. That's the word they use as creatures and other scary things to keep other people awake because they dimension hop, hopping through dimensions in the magnetic field. Same like your TV chasing and your cable station and your phone. Different signals hop different ways. So that's how it works. All right. The real word is material. You're right. The elite knows that. Yeah, that's why they designed this world. Okay, you're right about all that. They shoot past so quick, always at the time when you look at that direction, perfect timing. Well, vibes rational, if you could remember, the white part of your eyes see beyond the speed of light and the black see underneath the speed of light. So you only can catch them through the white parts of your eyes. But when you shift to go look at them, they were still there. You just shift and took yourself out of it. So if you want to see them, if you see them flying, shifting, don't change your perception. It's when you look now, it's still there. It's you who moved. All right? So give it a try. Gatekeepers, yeah. That's who they all are. Okay, you hit that in the head. They're just really all gatekeepers, really playing different positions in our chakras. I will get more into that next time. Let me see. I think I got some of it that I was storing, so you could see if I have one or two of how it works. Like the one let me see. Do I have it? We could look at this one. Kundalini Kriyas. You see this Kundalini Kriyas? How to remove toxicness from yourself. Toxicness is in the energies and everything. Alright, so this one is saying, let me see if I could pull it up sideways. This is super advanced Kundalini Kriyas, the removal of toxicants. But with this ancient energy enhancement technique, you too can learn how to ground the toxicants in the food you eat and to remove energy blockages. Remember, the Sufis say bringing the unformed man into the presence of the wise is like throwing a dead dog into a pool of rose water. It is necessary to receive the help of a master to purify yourself and to gain higher frequencies of energy, to grow the body, Kesja, of the psychic bodies. But the student must take an equal responsibility of desiring to be helped, symbolized by learning and practicing how to do it for themselves. They may not able to do this very much at first, but the effort for a long time without without break and without enthusiasm is that which is prescribed in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Learning how to improve your earth is the basis of what these next initiations is about. Roshi Hogan, one of the enlightened masters, was pleased when his student brought him a bottle of Guinness or red pepper pickle, even though he always recommended organic vegetarian food. Even though as a Buddha monk I have followed 333 rules, I have to come to prove to you that all of them is infinitely free. Hogan hoped they had grown to understand that they were different. All their internal emotional negativity as a sacrifice at his feet, he could help to transmute all. So basically, it's just, I was reading that for the energy to tell you how we could change our energy inside of ourselves, and it's how we eat and how we do our thing. It doesn't matter what you eat. It matters what type of energy you have inside of you and you propagate. So I just wanted you to understand that. Now, the law of thermodynamics real quick so you understand why masters separate from student and the enlightened has to separate just like you have higher beings and lower beings. This is from the law of thermodynamics, which state that energy tends to move from one person to another according to their law of thermodynamics. Energy flow from areas of high concentration to low concentration. This means positive energy flow from saints in a high energy level into people of low levels, thus raising them up and making them higher. Another byproduct is that blockages tend to get thrown out of that rising of energy, and in the process making their blockages really upset. Thus, the attributes of Kundalini energy, a feeling of awe, fear, or anger, shaking and heat, and cold is in the presence of the enlightened. The blockages of the unenlightened flow into the enlightened and into you. Negative energy flows from high concentration to low concentration. So if you hang around people with blockages, they will percolate into you. Remember that. Bringing an unformed man into the presence of a wise is like throwing a dead dog into a pool of rose water, Sufi says. This has the effect of healing the people who come into the presence of the wise, but unless they are coming to learn, rather than being just curious, the unenlightened will come back to the same previous state that he was. Thus, protection is very necessary to prevent energy enhancement student from picking up blockages. So you get to understand these things is real. If you be around unenlightened motherfuckers, you're gonna catch their sicknesses and their disease. It's how do you destroy enemies in dreams? Trying to throw punches is lame. If a demon confront you in a dream, that defensive move moves would you make? Unfortunately, if I was rational, I can't disclose that one because they taught me that, man. And you're right. I tried to punch. I tried. It doesn't work. Now you get what happened when you die. It doesn't work. And I guess when the time comes, they'll show you what to do. But I'll give you a hint. You could throw them around. You could throw them around. There is nothing. But to disclose it would be wrong for me to do that, you know. All right, astronomical dreams aren't real. Dreams are not real. Mental projections, you have to get past that. You're going into a zone when you go to sleep, not a projection. It's mental. Yeah, there you go. Astronomical mental projections. Vibration. I didn't say it was real, bro. Y'all two was talking. I said Jesus and demons let me go when I was under attack. That's right, Drew, Michelle, Michael. Did it work? You know they all from the same dimension. It's kind of hard and complicated, but it's all true. So you're doing the right thing. That's why they say he controlled the demons. You got to understand, it's a very deep story. But keep on searching for that knowledge, and we're gonna pick this up with the OBS one. I'm gonna see if I could come back tomorrow and do it. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Have you heard the name Absalom? Yeah, I know Absalom. I know Absalom as, no, Salome. Salome first I know from being with Jesus. That was the one who asked for John the Baptist head. You know, Absalom now, I think is in the Quran or was in the beginning. Thank you for the info. So you just said Jesus, nothing else, LOL. Yeah. Well, it's more to it because we got the story, we got the deep meaning. We all have to know how to use him. It could be used in context. Just don't take it out of context. When we start getting literal, that's when it is. But y'all know by now what it is. It's the soul. He breaks it down to you. That's why he said he'll be in you. Those stories is more anthropomorphic. If y'all want to go into it next time, I could go into details of it to give y'all a greater understanding. Can you tell the Jesus story? All right, tomorrow. That's all I was going to say, astronomical, because I'm going to pull it up in the book so you could go along with it. It's better than me just trying to, break it down because it's everything. And he's outside of the book. We're going to go to him in the Nag Hammadi text. That's where you're going to get the real deep shit that people who don't like him, that's where they hide his stuff at because he gets deep. That's when you realize, oh shit, this nigga's a demon. He ain't a regular man. But we're gonna go into that. Alright, so that's tomorrow. Thanks for the knowledge, man. Peace and blessings and love all around. Same here, James Hayward. That's what it is. Thank you for supporting me. You've been down a long time. I respect you a lot. All right, y'all.